Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think your network is bad where you are. Network is terribly bad where you are. Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Is it better?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello, Ottih, can you hear me? Ottih, can you hear me? Oh, I'm trying to do some setup here. Hello, can you hear me? Collins, can you hear me? It's a problem.
Very well.
You can hear me clearly, right?
Yes, very clearly. I can hear you.
Okay. Barrister Ottih, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Okay, I'm just doing the setup now. So, and I'm sure you're seeing the. Barrister Ottih, you can adjust. There's a
Yes.
curtain behind you. The reflection is disturbing. So, see if you can cover the
Okay.
curtain, or you can change your background where you are backing to avoid the reflection.
Okay, let
There's
me
a reflection coming
cover
from
it.
the curtain. Yeah. Yeah, cover the curtain so that the light doesn't come in. Viewers, we are sorry we are kicking off late. Of course, we had to do some setup to make sure that the connection is good. Of course, we all know the challenges that network connections are posing in Nigeria. So actually, that's why we needed to work on it. So I have my guest now, but Ottih, where you are is dark. That's the challenge we have. It's really dark where you are. I wish you can turn around. You can open the curtain, turn around, and face the curtain so that the light will illuminate your face. If it's possible, if you can face the window where the light is, and then, turning.
Is it okay?
Um, the can you turn back? Can you face the window where the curtain is? Can you face it?
Where the curtain is?
Yes, behind you. Can you turn around, like face your face? Yeah, face the window. If you can face the window, let your face be at the window. Face the window.
Okay. Is
No,
it
not
okay?
that way. Can you turn around? Can you turn around and have your face looking? Be looking at the window. Can you turn your phone? Can you turn around? Can you turn yourself around? Yeah. Good.
This way?
Yeah, you can see yourself now. Can you see yourself? You are clearer now.
Yes, I can.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
yes.
you are clearer now. So you try to keep your phone steady. If there's something you can use to hang your phone, so that it wouldn't be shaking, because the more it's shaking, the more it's going to be affecting the phone. Okay, so we are starting the program with the people, and it's a public discussion program where we discuss on issues that are topical and that are affecting the people. And one of the issues that are affecting the people today is the issue of local governments in Nigeria. We know that the local governments, some say, have been hijacked by the governors. That tier of government is almost non-existent in Nigeria presently, the way it's been managed and handled by the governors. After I shadowed this program this morning, I was confronted with the news that even in Anambra State, the governor in Anambra State has just dissolved the caretaker committee that are in the local governments over there. And this is a man, when he was campaigning, he made a promise of 6 months latest before he will organize local government election in Anambra State. So why is it a big deal that we can have the third tier of government functioning properly? So that brings me to the case in Imo State, where the governor of Imo State, Governor Hope Uzodinma, has appointed sole administrators to man the local governments in Imo State. And we are saying, is that proper? And I have, luckily for me, I have one of the government officials here with us who is going to be doing justice to this question. So, Mr. Collins Ughala, I'm going to allow you to talk to us about what is happening in Imo State? Why do we have sole administrators appointed in Imo State and not elections happening now?
Okay, thank you, Abdul. I want to correct an impression. Currently, I'm not an official of the state government. I was a special advisor, immediate past special advisor on public communication.
Okay. But
So
you are still
I
close
think
to the government, and you are still sympathetic to government, and you are still pro
well, it is
government.
the government of Imo State, whether as, as an
You may
appointee or
have to
not as an appointee.
sorry, you may have to
How
adjust your phone a little bit, or you can sit back a bit so that your face can be captured properly. Yeah. Okay.
is it better now?
Yeah, we see
So
now. Yeah.
what I'm saying is that whether I am an appointee of the government or not an appointee of the government, I will continue to support the government of Imo State, especially this government that is busy delivering dividends of democracy to Imo people. The government of shared prosperity led by his distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma. So I think that settles the question of me being a government official. So at the moment, I'm not, but I'll continue to support the government, whether as an appointee or not. Now, the issue of local government administration is a national concern. It's a national concern, and those who are lawyers will understand that some of the problems has to do with constitutional provisions. But be that as it may, we have a governor in Imo State who is willing, who has always shown his willingness. He has not minced word about it, that he will conduct local government election. And let me tell you, you are a parent. If you tell your family that you are going to do ABCD thing, and along the line you encounter challenges, there are problems. There are immediate problems that needed to be resolved first before you go ahead to fulfill that promise. I'm sure you are going to resolve those immediate problems first. So that is the case of Imo State. The governor is a distinguished senator. He was in the Senate for 8 years. So if there is anybody who should understand what the law means, if there is anybody who should understand the need, the imperative for local government autonomy, for effective local government administration, it is the governor. The governor will have in Imo State today, the civil senator who opposed Odemi. So when he said that he was going to conduct local government election, he meant it. But there were challenges on the way. You are from Imo State, you understand these challenges better than those who are not from Imo State. We had the COVID-19 pandemic, which was a global problem that shut down governments across all over the world. That restricted movements. People were not allowed to gather, and you don't. I know you will not advise any government to conduct election within that period. When we were coming out of that problem, we had the NSAS. Nigeria had to face that problem. It was a big problem. It was a big problem all over the country. And you don't advise any government to go ahead and conduct a local government election within that period. As if that was not enough, as soon as we were leaving the NSAS problems, we had insecurity. The unknown government saga, killings everywhere. And of course, people were running away from their homes. Communities were being deserted, people were killed, people were beheaded, all kinds of down where we saw cannibalism for the first time in Imo State. The governor was busy addressing these issues. And I know you cannot advise the governor to conduct local government election in that kind of situation. The Imo State Independent Electoral Commission, the commission saddled with the responsibility of conducting local government election in Imo State, saw the need to postpone the local government election. That was in 2022, because the process to conduct the election was already in place. Government had made announcement, ISEC had made announcement, and parties were getting ready for the election. But there was a compelling need to postpone the election because of insecurity. And the ISEC, as a responsible commission, as a responsible agency of the state government, called the stakeholders, especially the inter-party advisory council. And they had series of meetings with them, and they came up with the decision to postpone the election. IPAC agreed with ISEC that there was insecurity. At that time, ISEC said that its offices and some local governments were attacked, and that it was impossible for the commission to conduct local government elections in 10 local governments out of the 27 local governments. So there was the need at that time to postpone the election. And as government was grappling with the insecurity in the state, we had the general elections. Now, all of these things are over. All of these are in the past. There is peace in Imo State today. There is security in Imo State today. And the government is ready to conduct the local government election. What the government has done, what the governor has done now, is to appoint sole administrators to man the affairs of the local government for a period of 60 days. And the government said that local government elections will be conducted within this time frame. That is where we are in Imo State today. We have a responsible government, a responsible governor that has not, that did not dissolve elected local government officials. He is a man of accountability, a man who knows the law, who understands the law, and who keeps the law. That is where we are in Imo State today. We are hopeful. Imo people are getting ready. Imo people are excited that within the period of 60 days, they will have elected local government officials.
Okay. It does seem Barrister Ottih. Barrister Ottih, are you still with us? I think his network, his connection is off. Maybe he will be connecting back. But I want to ask you a question. There's been some governors that were elected even later than Governor Hope Uzodinma who have been able to conduct local government elections in their state. For instance, Ondo State, where the governorship election is going to be coming up. The governor, they have elected local government officials in that state, and one or two other states too. You know that came on board after Governor Hope Uzodinma, got into office. If you are using the pandemic and the NSAS as the reason why this has not happened, but these other guys have been able to do it. So I mean, why is it difficult for Governor Hope Uzodinma to, do better than them?
It is not difficult for the governor to conduct local government election. Let me point out to you once more. Each state has its own peculiarities. We have our own challenges here. The challenges we have here are not the same as the challenges in those other states. Those other states went through NSAS, they went through the COVID-19 pandemic, but they did not go through the insecurity we went through here. The insecurity we went through here lasted for years. I mean, lasted for years. Communities were deserted. In fact, you need to visit some communities at the time to be able to know that conducting elections in those local governments were impossible. Not that they were difficult for the government, but they're practically impossible to do so. And Abdul, I want to ask you whether the two governors you cited as examples, whether they conducted local government elections during the pandemic or while the NSAS problem was going on. They did not. They had to exit those challenges before the local government election could be held. Now we have exited our own challenges. We had more challenges than they had. They may have exited their own challenges. We just exited our own. And we are now going into the next phase. The next phase being the local government election. That is where we are today.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that no state government has conducted local government election. No. But what I'm saying that our own peculiarities, our own challenges made it impossible. Even when government was willing, even when the process was on, our own challenges made it impossible, and they compelled ISEC to postpone the election. A situation where it was impossible for the commission to conduct local government elections in 10 local governments. It was so concerning. It was a disturbing situation. So no responsible government will try to risk the lives of its people, the people that gave the government the mandate to govern. No responsible government will risk their life because the government wants to conduct local government elections. Government
Okay.
exists for the people and for the interest of the people.
All
So
right.
the
So
people will have to be alive first. The people have to be protected first so that they will be able to participate in the process.
okay. Fortunately, we'll have Barrister Okafor with us now, but it does seem Barrister Okafor, I'm not sure whether uh, you are really prepared for us because you're joining us late and you seem not to be very set for the program. I don't know. Should we continue with you or you? I don't know.
I'm here already.
Okay. So we already introduced Barrister Okafor earlier. He's a Port Harcourt-based legal practitioner. He hails from Imo State also, and I want to have his opinion on the issue of local government administration in Nigeria generally, vis-a-vis what is happening in Imo State, where we now have 27 sole administrators appointed to man the local government. So, by Sukaf, I would like to have your view. And I also want you to have at the back of your mind that this morning we also got information that Governor Soludo has already sacked the interim local government administrators in Anambra State with immediate effect. And I don't know if he's going to conduct election this time because there's no arrangement for election, which means we are going to have another um, what do you call it? Caretaker. Well, I don't know this one whether it's going to be committee. This they have designs. You have caretaker committees that will be composed of maybe like 3 or 5 people, and then maybe when they consider the cost of paying them, they will revert to sole administrator. And I don't know. So I don't know what we are going to have in Anambra the next time. But let's have your take on this situation.
Yeah. Thank you, Ak. Thank you. At least one is, I must commend your passion for the state, despite being away for a long time and being miles away. You are still passionate about the state. I want to start from the first thing, that is local government administration, the essence. The essence of local government, or setting up the constitutional essence or the rationale of setting up local government, is to get the government down to the people. What does that supposed to mean? It is supposed to curb rural to urban migration. You know, I remember in the old days when we were in primary school, all those, the roads in our localities are built by local government, public work department. We do our march past in local government. The exercise books and the textbooks or whatever we get it from the local government. Most of the things we derive from the local government. And so the essence of local government is to make sure that people can thrive in their own locality. Businesses, commerce, everything could thrive in that locality without people having to run to the capital or any other city. That is what local government, the essence of local government. And by that, they are constitutionally autonomous. How many autonomous? They should generate their own resources. For example, my local government that is made up of close to 12 or 13 communities. We all have markets. Local government could generate resources from the market. Okada riders, keke riders, parks. And with that, if something comes for the federation, they could as well use it to extend development to the rural areas. That is essence of local government, and that's what it's all about. And so by being autonomous, it means that the people in the locality should be able to choose whom they want to rule them based on the person's presented manifestos. And so, what are we talking about here? I found out that recently the state governors emasculate the local government. No accountability for the funds from the local government. And where everybody keeps quiet, I wouldn't know why it happens. Because I wouldn't know. You get your own your state allocation. You get whatever allocation you get. Then the local government, their own allocation. You don't account for it. You appoint somebody to stay there and man it. And no accountability. So I am not a fan of interim appointments. I'm not a fan of solar. I'm not a fan of no. This shouldn't exist. Every state governor should organize an election into the local government. People send in their representative in the form of councillors, and then those people interface with the chairman, and there's been local government people sensitive or people projects, especially repairing of primary schools. I wouldn't know why Minister Commissioner for Education will know the primary school beside my village. It's not possible. But the supervisor of local government of education local government will know the primary school beside me. And that is the essence of local government. Primary education should be under them. But well, it's been nationalized for freedom. I mean, like UBEC and all those ones. But the point I'm making is that I am not a fan, and I cannot in any way commend the governor. He's done this for 4 years. It has already been appointment, and we know that the appointer receives all the what do you call it, all loyalties from the appointee. So the person is not responsible to the people. He is responsible to the man that appointed him. So please, my name is Chris Okafor. I am not a fan, and I cannot all of a sudden turn to be a fan, no matter which governor is involved, to the issue of appointment of solar in the local government. No, it is an anomaly, and we shouldn't normalize an abnormality in the name of politics or in the name of partisan loyalty or all stuff. That won't do good for all of us. I don't think I'm done.
Okay. But so many people tend to see this from the angle of how do you call it? They want to see it from the fact that these governors are more interested in the wealth of the local governments other than making that tier of government functional. Do you agree to that? Is it about the booty? Hello, are you there? Oh my God, I think we're having an issue here.
Hello?
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, we had a mix up there. Go on.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, it is difficult not to find economic interest or perhaps excessive knife for control in insisting or trying to impose your appointees in local government. It's very, very difficult not to read into it. So I'll be deceiving myself if I tend to be politically correct to say no, it could be for that, it could be for that. No. I want to lend my voice strongly to it that in whatever it is practiced, it is for control. Control not on the personnel, but control on the resources or that location that trickles down to the local government. And it doesn't bode well for development because, I mean, if local governments get 90 million, 100 million, or 150 million, each local government gets 150 million. I mean, let us take the ones that are in the rural areas and we multiply it by 27, right? That's what we have, or 21, what we have in Imo State. We
27.
multiply it by that, 27. Now, you can imagine what we're talking about. It's in billions, and somebody controls it and sits wherever and thinks that he can know what obtains in my village. That's not proper. So I
Okay.
agree with you. I subscribe to that view that it is
All
control.
right. Let me bring in Barrister Ottih. We've been having issues with his connection, so let me see if I can bring in Barrister Mike Ottih and see if we can get him connected. Barrister Mike Ottih. We're having some, network challenges here. Barrister Mike Ottih, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Let me see if I can bring you in because the network is not really good. Okay. All right. So, Barrister Mike Ottih is a legal practitioner in Imo State also, and he's a very strong opinion molder in that state. You know, a human rights lawyer. So, Barrister Ottih, we're talking about the local government administration in Imo, I mean in Nigeria, and we're looking at Imo State, where 27 sole administrators have been appointed. Somebody has said the government was slowed down by the COVID issue and the NSAS, whatever, and then insecurity in Imo State. So, I mean, where does that leave us? I mean, are we continue? I mean, are we going to be like this in perpetuity, or do you see any, I mean, hope in sight concerning the local governments in Imo State? Your view?
Okay, thank you very much for having me on this show. Much as I agree to an extent that the COVID era with the attendant lockdown, as well as the insecurity that resurged in Imo State recently, may have affected events. I do not agree completely that that is a good reason for not organizing local government elections, since the incumbent governor, Senator Hope Uzodinma, came to power. I disagree that the reasons adduced we correctly account for not organizing local government elections. Within the period we had COVID and the period insecurity challenges, got drastically reduced in Imo State. And now, a government determined to entrench a democratically elected local government system would have done that. So I do not completely agree. I am aware that, in fact, the chief executives in the state enjoy that situation where maybe there are certain social interventions challenging the system that will even enable them hold down the resources of the local government because they're interested in feeding on that money. That is my view, and my firm one for that matter, because if you look around the stakes, you'll find out that the governors are not interested in organizing local government elections. Unfortunately, that is against the law, because if you look at Section 7, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, the law says that a system of local government, democratically elected local government administration shall be guaranteed under the Constitution. In other words, what that simply means, that provision is saying that outside democratically elected local government system, any other system is not guaranteed by the Constitution. It's not allowed by the law. It's not permissible under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is the implication of that provision. But the governors are not interested in giving effect to that provision of the Constitution. Once they come to, their first target is usually to hold down the local government resources. If you look at the JAC, this joint allocation, and the committee that decides what goes to the local government and what goes to the state, it is barely functional at the state level. It's barely functional because the intention is to use the resources that ought to be given to the local government for the development of the grassroots areas for their own selfish and discretionary pleasures. So I will not agree with anybody coming up with excuses, making excuses for a governor, or particularly as it affects Imo State, that these are the reasons why a local government election has not been organized. Because I'm aware that when His Excellency Senator Hope Uzodinma came on board, it was, in fact, one of the first promises he made if you listened to his inauguration speech, he assured Imolites that a system of democratically elected local government executives will be entrenched. He appointed his what do you call it, interim management committee. The interim management committee stayed, in fact, for too long. They stayed longer than is permissible. Then when he finally dissolved that, one expected that he would have organized local government election, but that didn't happen. So I do not think that there are excuses that will justify not organizing local government election at the moment. Thank you very much.
All right. So let me come to Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins, I don't know if you heard what Barrister Ottih said, and the question I want to ask you is one of the viewers to this program has just sent me a message, and he said I should ask Mr. Collins that if he's using insecurity as an excuse, why is it that the governor recently invited investors to Imo State and declared that the state is, the state is safe, that insecurity has gone, so why now give excuse with insecurity in Imo State when you have declared that the state is safe, investors should come, you have made the state safe? If the state is safe, why don't you organize local government election? That's the question the viewer is asking. So, Mr. Collins, I'd like you to respond to this.
Okay. First of all, I want to clarify that I don't think that the state government is making excuses. What I think the government is doing, or myself, what I'm doing is to state the facts the way they are. People are free to give their own opinions. But if we want to find solution to what happened, and if we want to find solution to the problems of the local government, we must look back to what had happened. And if we want to look back to those incidents, there is no way we will not mention these challenges. And I don't think it is necessary for us to begin to realize the chronology of events here, that this happened between this time to this time, this happened between this time to this time. But the truth of the matter is that within the last 4 years, the first tenure of the whole Udozima administration, it was rare. The governor didn't have breathing space. Conducting local government election was not conducive. I have said it here, that even the commission saddled with the responsibility of conducting the elections said, and it was in the news, that its offices were being attacked. In fact, burned. The word used by the commission was raised by unknown gunmen, and that it was impossible for the commission to conduct local government elections in 10 local governments out of the 27. These are facts on ground. They are not excuses. These are facts on ground. Many people were not going home. People were being killed. Politicians were being killed.
So in essence, are you saying that the government wasn't sure of what they were saying when they said the state was safe?
No, it's not excuse me. Nobody can predict tomorrow. As here, you can't predict tomorrow. It is the duty of the government to say this is what we are going to do. This is our plan. These are our plans. And in the course of trying to execute those plans, trying to fulfill those promises, if there are challenges, if there are unforeseen circumstances, the government has to readjust. So the issue of insecurity, nobody knew would have it. The issue of COVID-19 pandemic, nobody knew would have it. And the government, when the government was making their own plan, they didn't factor in these challenges because they didn't know about them. So now that they happened and we had those challenges, what government did was to address those challenges because they were serious challenges. They had to be addressed first. But the good news is that we are out of those challenges now. The coast is clearer. The environment is conducive now for a local government election. This is where we are today. If we dwell on why didn't it happen, the reasons are obvious. The thing we should be doing now is, will this election be held as the governor has said? Let us move forward. Let us move forward. Talking about why it didn't happen, why it did not. We'll make this argument from now till next year. Because, as like I said, the facts are there. Government did not manufacture those problems. The problems came. The issue of COVID-19 was a global issue. The issue of NSAS was a national problem. The issue of insecurity is a Southeast problem, but that of Imo State was more. And the commission said it was impossible for them to go ahead with the elections. And the political parties, all of the political parties in Imo State agreed with the commission. They agreed with the commission in one of their meetings, and the commission had to postpone the election. That was what happened in the past. But here we are today, that the governor has said now, the coast is clear. The atmosphere is conducive for these elections to be held. We are going to conduct them. I think this is what we should be talking about now. And the motive for governors appointing interim management committees or SOLAT, I don't want to delve into that, but I want to tell my lawyer friends, Barrister Chris has been, we've known each other for some time now, even though we've not been communicating for a while. The point is that they are lawyers, they understand these issues better. In section 7 of the same constitution quoted by Barrister Ottih, the second part of that constitution, provision, allows state government, state assemblies to make laws for the governance and structure. Very important. The governance, the structure of local government administration. So if your state house of assembly makes a law allowing a state governor to appoint SOLATs, appoint interim management committees, IMCs, appoint transition committee chairman, what are you going to do? The governor has to obey. So the problem, like I said before, part of it is constitutional. You have to go back to the constitution and say, okay, are we good with this? What are the challenges this has brought to us? But as it is in Imo State today, the governor has said that within the next 60 days, local government election will be held. That is where we are now.
Okay, Barrister Chris, you heard what he said. Can we go to the bank with this promise? He said the governor has, given us a promise. Can we actually go to the bank with the promise?
Well, let me start by saying a few things. According to Ughala, Collins, a good friend though, he said ICA came up with a report of impossibility of election in 10 out of 17. So what stopped the election in the 17? I mean, the federal government, when we have insecurities, there could ANEC might not work in some areas, but the number is higher. Let's get 17, then you can when peace returns in the 10, you do that. So why I brought this example is to tell you that we can always manufacture reasons for why we don't want to do it the way it should be done. So I sincerely, I buy into the extreme theory, yes, of this, that COVID, security, this could derail the process of government entirely. There are 17 local governments, do it that way. Now, to your question, can we bank on that? Oh well, if you do extrapolation, if I want to do extrapolation, I may not bank on it. How do I mean by extrapolation? If I want to go back to what was said before and whether it was kept, I may not bank on that. But if I want to reason like a typical Nigerian or typical African, we call it in parentheses, hopefully, or with faith, or if I want to reason that way, if I want to think that way, I will say, well, let me bank it. Let me go to the bank and drop my stake on this and on this, hoping that it happens. But let us also know that since we have excuses for not doing it before, some of those excuses might still rear up in future, and then we're back to square one. So I would rather say let us bank with caution, and then probably control this pressure of advocacy across board. That look, it can be done. Because if we sit back, that's the problem with Africans or Nigerians. When we sit back, the government does it the way they want. But when we ramp up the pressure, perhaps reasonably, every government that's responsive, and I believe that Senator Hope's government should be responsive. So
Okay.
let's hope you in 6 months' time, right?
Okay.
Let
Okay. So,
have,
so Barrister Ottih, let's now look at it from another perspective, um, in the sense that in Nigeria, the local government administration, I mean, local government tier of government, what is passing through. Some people are saying, because at the end of the day, even if you conduct election, you find out that these people still manipulate it. I've not seen a state where the ruling party has lost one local government in any local government election, because they use the state electoral commissions. They appoint them. They give them the instructions, and they return as they have been instructed. So some people are saying, I mean, even the local government election, does it really make sense? Is it not just a waste of resources? And at the end of the day, we are back to square one, even worse situations. So if that is the case, why don't we continue with this one? I mean, what do you think is the way out? In fact, in between these two options, the devil and the deep blue sea, which one do we take? Do we waste resources, conduct local government elections, and still the stooges are there? Or do we continue with appointment of sole administrators or caretaker committees, and at the end of the day, I mean, um, they save cost. If I play the devil's advocate here, probably they save cost, and we still have the same situation. I mean, what's the way out?
Thank you for the question. But let me start with the last thing you said. The cost you are saving is not giving anybody conferring any advantage on anybody. So it's better they organize it. If they say they appoint solars, that they are saving costs, then what is the opportunity cost?
Oh, we're having a network. Okay.
We get, for not conducting that election. So it confers no advantage to have a system of democratically elected local government personnel in place. Let them be in place. You see, the truth is that much as I agree that every state organizes local government election to favor members of the political party that is the ruling party in that state.
Yeah.
At the same time, you cannot compare democratically elected, however bad, democratically elected local government executive to what you call interim management committee or sole administrators or whatever you call them. You can't compare the two. The truth is that somebody who is democratically elected some of them may have the boldness to ask for their money, what is due to them, from the federation account when it is shared. Some of them that have the courage can actually ask, who are democratically elected. But there is no SOLAD. There is no SOLAD. There is also no interim management. And ask for such money. That is not possible.
Okay. I think the network, we're having we're having a serious network challenge here. Collins Ughala is actually off. It appears his network is disconnected, and we're having glitches from the end of Barrister Ottih. Okay, and we'll have just a few minutes to end the program. We have less than 8 minutes to end the program. So let me now jump into Rivers State. Because Barrister Chris Okafor is in Rivers State, and Rivers State is very close to Imo State. Let me jump into Rivers State. Do we adopt the Rivers State method, where I know there are elected local government officials in Rivers State, and there's a godfather behind them, and the godfather is using the local government chairman to some kind of check the governor? Because you see, there are disloyal local government chairmen in Rivers State to the governor. I mean, do we adopt such policy? I mean, such methods in other states where we can have at least disloyal local governments to the governor and see if it's going to work. And in Rivers State, where you have disloyal local government governors, is it working? These are questions we like to know. So, Barrister Chris, let me give you let's have 2 minutes to look at this, and then Ottih will respond before we round off.
Oh yeah. I'm actually at loss to understand what you want to get at. Officers and what the issue in Lagos, in Rivers State, is more of a political structure, and it's given any governor that really want to have these people at the rural areas and that will service the structure, and without the disagreement between the present governor and the ex-governor minister right away, probably wouldn't in this agreement. I mean, wouldn't have the seeming local government chairman to the state. So it is a misnomer. It's not, one shouldn't copy a misnomer. That's the point I'm trying to make. The normal thing would have been, since they are still the same party, I mean, their policies, their synergy should have continued. But now we have a misnomer. We expect that someday in future the abnormality will normalize. But for now, it's not something one would want to copy, honestly, because it breeds hatred. It can breed a few things that might be highly palatable.
All right. Time is not on our side now. So, Barrister Ottih, your take on that before we draw the curtain. Collins has joined us back,
Okay, Abdul, I think I insist always at all times that the right thing be done. Because there is nothing to copy. I don't think there is any moral model in Rivers State to copy. Because what is happening in Rivers State is a show of shame as far as I'm concerned. Where somebody, after being a governor of a state, has refused to let the successor, control the territory or deliver good governance to the people, the masses who, quote and unquote, elected the governor. At least the people deserve good governance at all times. So, but the fight between the two is not helping the state at all. So I don't think it presents any moral model for us to copy in that state. What I insist is that let the governor, as he has promised repeatedly, conduct local government election in Imo State. Let also the former governor in Rivers State give peace a chance by allowing the incumbent governor, govern the state effectively and deliver good governance to the people. That is what is more important than the squabble, the fight, and the face-off they are having there.
Okay,
so
just to give
I just wish you will reconvene after 90 days, because Mr. Ughala has said in 60 days time, since the situation has normalized in
definitely we are going to be on watch.
Yes, that the governor will organize
this program is going to be a continuous program, so we'll continue
so please
engaging the
hold
citizens,
this program
the government,
again after 90
everybody.
days.
Yeah, but Mr. Collins, before we go off, when your network went off, I talked about Rivers State, and I said, should we emulate what is happening in Rivers State, where the former governor have a present incumbent local government chairman who are loyal to him and disloyal to the governor. So, because people accuse these governors who organize these elections at the twilight of their administrations as setting up booby traps for incoming governors, right? And that is why, of course, when these new governors come in, they usually dissolve them. We've had such cases in Imo State. Hakim did the election, Rochas came, dissolved. Rochas did, who came and dissolved his own, I think Ihedioha or Hope, I don't know. So it keeps
it was Ihedioha, not Hope. Hope has not dissolved any person.
All right, but then he didn't record them back, assuming Ihedioha had. he didn't record them, because government is a continuation. I mean, it's a continuum. So, but what I'm saying now,
Abdul,
what I'm saying now is,
the point.
my question now is, if the governor wants to organize local government election now, are you seeing a situation where he's going to drag this till the tail end of his tenure, organize it to create a booby trap for the incoming governor, and probably become a Wike in Imo State after a new government has come up, where he will have
No,
local
no,
government
no,
chairman loyal to him?
no. The governor will have now in Imo State is a different kind of governor.
Are you sure?
He's a
But
governor that
He's an
says what
APC
he
governor. Are
means
you
and
sure? Are
means
you sure
what he says.
there's
Yes,
no
yes,
APC
no,
syndrome there? Because
He's
Yaya Bello
a
in
different
Kogi
kind of
State, Yaya
governor.
Bello is like the de facto governor
No,
there, even though you
no,
have a.
no. You can't associate the governor we have now with those developments. We have a different kind of governor who means what he says and says what he means. He doesn't engage in double speak. Who can take whatever promises he makes to bank.
Oh, really? So,
Yes, we are assured that whatever the Governor Oposodima says he will do, he will.
all
So
right.
the issue of conducting local government elections, as far as we are concerned, we will not take it for granted that it will happen. So what we are talking about is that political parties, everybody should mobilize to participate in the process.
All right,
The local
guys.
governments belong
Time
to
is
us.
not on our side, Collins. I'm going to leave you here because time is already finished. So I'm going to subsequently we'll be having this discussion. It's going to be a continuous one. Remember, this is a new program we started, and we are sorry about some of the challenges we are having here because it's a new technology. So we are also trying to, get more conversant with the software. But having said that, I want to thank you guys for coming to the program. Collins Ohala, Honorable Sir Collins Ughala, former special advisor or assistant to the governor government of Imo State. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Abdul.
I also want to thank Barrister Chris Okafor, who is a legal practitioner in River State, but hails from Imo State. Always concerned about what is happening in Imo State. Barrister Chris, you're welcome. I hope one day you're going to either run for is it Senate or House of Rep or whichever.
If
And and I also want to
So
thank
let him come and run. Let him
Barrister
come and run.
Oti Mike Oti.
We need people
Mike
like him
Oti
in the system.
is a boot on the ground. Yeah, he's a lawyer, legal practitioner in Imo State, a human rights lawyer for that matter. A very strong public opinion molder in Imo State. Barrister Mike, thank you for participating in the program.
Thank you. My pleasure once again. Thank you for having
Okay.
me.
So thank you all. We'll be back same time. Any other time. For now, we don't have a fixed time, but sometimes it could be coming on Saturdays or Thursdays, depending on when it's more convenient for us. But till we come again, I want to thank you all and urge our viewers to keep watching this program. We call it We the People. It's about us. It's about the people. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.